What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of the Narcissist Code. I am your favorite self-aware narcissist, Mr. Lee Hammock, better known as Mental Healness from TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and in podcast form as well. If this is your first time seeing my glorious face, my mama said it was glorious, so don't you dare leave a negative comment. I'm a diagnosed narcissist. I have narcissistic personality disorder. I've been in psychotherapy since October of 2017, and the point of my entire platform is to bring awareness to this disorder and to also, in the process of doing that, get more people into therapy and validate the victims and survivors of, this disorder. Because guess what, y'all? You might not be crazy. You might just be dealing with a narcissist. Today's episode is going to be about the things that I have learned in therapy. A lot of people ask me to do this video, and every time I do a video about therapy, they just don't do well because people want to know why the narcissist is doing whatever they're doing. But this video is going to be a little bit more personal in how I operate and how I work, and how, if you are a narcissist watching this or listening to this, how it could, help you out deal with your life. And if you're like, if you're a person dealing with a narcissist that you can't leave, it can help you out as well. So I want to say one of the main things that I've learned in therapy is I've been eating pistachios all day. Is the difference between learning to react, listening to react, and listening to respond. Because as a narcissist, I've been listening to react my entire life. My therapist said you listen to react because it's a built-in defense mechanism ingrained from childhood, trying to defend myself and protect my ego and my sense of self and things like that. So I've been listening to react pretty much my entire life. When I'm having conversations with people, I'm listening and I'm honing in on things that could trigger me as a defense mechanism. So I'm listening, waiting for you to say something. So that's why a lot of times when you're dealing with a narcissist, they might interrupt you before you finish your thought because you say a word that triggers them. Like you might be saying something about pigs, but then you say fat. And I was like, "Boy, you calling me fat? Why you gotta call me fat then? Like, see, I don't talk about how fat you are. I don't talk about the weight you put on." You see how I reacted? If I would listen to the end of that statement, I would know you're talking about fat pigs and not fat meat. But I was listening to react. And when you listen to react, it's a short temper. It causes more arguments. It causes more strife and drama. And it stifles your partner pretty much. Like listening to react stifles your partner because they are afraid. They become afraid and conditioned to be afraid of, your reactions, of my reactions. They're scared if they say the wrong thing, that I'll pop off. Or your narcissist will pop off. Like if I say the wrong thing to this person, I gotta be very careful with what I say, or they'll pop off on me. Yep, boop, pop off, because I'm listening to react as a defense mechanism. Because with a narcissist, there is no such thing as constructive criticism. It's all criticism. So don't put constructive in front of it, because not to a narcissist, it's all criticism. You say something bad about me, you can be giving me tips and tricks or whatever. It's criticism. And like I said, I'm listening to react. I still listen to react. I say I didn't used to. But listening to react is not the way to go, because it causes unnecessary strife, drama, and whatever. And when you were talking to a narcissist and they cut you off before you finish your thought or before you finish their sentence, narcissists tend to misinterpret things because we are listening to react. We are reacting, So misinterpretation is huge when you're dealing with a narcissistic person, because we are listening to react. We are listening to what you say and reacting to it before you finish your thought. And that causes a partner to be stifled, and that causes argument. That causes communication issues they cause communication issues in a relationship. And communication issues lead to bad relationships, lead to you hanging out one night and having a good night, and then your significant other bringing up something that y'all didn't finish talking about 3 months ago, and then you ruined the night. Guess what? Why you want to talk about this now? Like, you could have talked about this 3 months ago. I tried to talk about it 3 months ago. You shut me down. Well, see? That leaves arguments on pause. That leaves conversations on pause and stuff like that. Whereas listening to respond means I become an active listener. I'm listening to you. I'll let you finish your thought. I'll let you finish talking, and I interpret it how I should. It gives me the opportunity to interpret it how you meant it. You know what I mean? Like, it allows me to register, like, was this a personal attack on me, or are they just trying to, navigate me through some tough times or something like that. And listen, like I said, so listening to respond, I'm sitting back, I'm listening, I'm still on edge. I'm still on edge, waiting for you to say some BS to me so I can react to you. But I'm listening to respond. So I let you finish your thought. I don't interrupt you. And then I calculate my thoughts. I take my time. I process what you said. And then I respond to you accordingly. And listening to respond also allows me to ask questions to you. Like, leading questions to you to make sure I understand your viewpoint. Like, so what do you mean by this? Instead of reacting to that word fat in that last statement, so what do you mean by fat when you said that? I was talking about the pigs being fat. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. I understand. So listening to respond leads to better communication, which leads to less arguments, which leads to less rage, which leads to, more attention, which leads to the partner of the narcissistic person feeling, not stifled, feeling that their voice is actually heard, because it is actually being heard, because I'm not reacting in the middle of a sentence. I'm reacting at the end of the whole statement that you're making. You see the subtle differences? That's exactly how it is right there. So listening to respond is way better than listening to react. Another thing that I've learned in therapy is trigger control. I've learned how to figure out what things trigger me and how to process my triggers so they don't affect the people around me. So one of the things that triggers me is, that used to trigger me is people talking about, like my dad and stuff like that. So they used to trigger me like, man, your dad did this. Man, dad, I saw your dad playing basketball, this, that. My dad wasn't in my life a lot, so it got on my nerves. It used to trigger me. It used to get on my nerves. I was like, why are you talking about this dude? Like, this dude ain't involved in my life. He's nowhere near me. He's nowhere around me. He doesn't care about me. So why do I care about what he has to say? My whole attitude changes. My whole body language changes. My whole day changes. It used to be changed based on somebody talking about my dad, which used to trigger me. And I hate people being able to control my emotions. So my therapist said, if you allow the mention of your dad's name or your dad in general, if you allow that to trigger you, he can control you. And I was like, what? He can control me? Nope. Time for me to cut off that. So, and one of the ways I worked on that trigger right there is I listened to the documentary on Netflix by Tony Robbins called I Am Not Your Guru. He said if you want to blame somebody for the stuff that they put you through, you have to blame them for the person that you became if you became a good person. If you're going to blame them for all the bad stuff, you have to give them credit for all the good stuff that came from it. And I was just like, dang, him not being in my life has made me super ambitious and made me want to be better than him in every single way. So I blame, pretty much blaming more effectively. He said, Tony Robbins said, I'm not asking you to stop blaming. I'm asking you to blame more effectively. Blame with purpose. I was like, oh, Tony! If you're watching this, you see me get hyped because I love Tony Robbins. And the people ask me how I got to this point right here. The first name off the top of my mouth would be Tony Robbins. Off the top of my head would be Tony Robbins. Because I used to do a lot of network marketing, y'all. And network marketing companies, they always, preach, self-betterment and personal development. So when I was like in Amway Global 10 years ago, whatever, I used to be preaching stuff. I used to read, they put you on those books. That's when I first started reading self-betterment, self-help stuff. Like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the Millionaire Next Door, Think and Grow Rich, books like that. And it led me to Google, being on Google and stuff like that. And, talking about, it led me to Google, led me to YouTube, watching Tony Robbins videos, reading Tony Robbins books and stuff like that, and getting immersed in that. Because I've always known that something was different about me. I couldn't put my finger on it. So I've always been trying to improve myself because I felt different. I was like, I need to improve my mindset. I need to work on my mindset. I always have a negative mindset. I always had negative thoughts permeating my brain. I'm like, I need to be better. So I was obsessed with Dr. Joe Dispenza and, Tom Bilyeu and, Jesse Eisner and, David Goggins. I've been listening to all this stuff. Gary Vaynerchuk, all this stuff. I've been on these people for years and years and years before my diagnosis. So when I got diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder, about 3 years ago, it just made sense to me. It gave me answers. And I just read all the negative stuff about narcissistic personality disorder online. I read all that stuff online. I was like, this is not, Dr. Joe Dispenza said, you work on your brain, you can change it. You work on you can work on it. You can change your mindset. You can change your behaviors. So I started working on me. I've been working on me for years. So why do I have to let narcissistic personality disorder? Why do I have to let that diagnosis or that term that people call me a narcissist? Why do I have to let that put me down? Why can't it be empowering to me? Hey, Lee, you're a narcissist. Hey, I know I am. And I take that word narcissist. Yes, I am a narcissist. You know, I can't change it. This is who I am, and this is why I'm doing what I do. I took that word, I reframed it. It's not a bad word now. You can't insult me by calling me a narcissist. You know, you're such a narcissist. I'm like, yes, I am. And I know y'all watching this and listening to this. So you're proud to be a narcissist, Lee. You're a proud narcissist, bro. You should be proud of being a narcissist. What the hell am I gonna do about it? How can I change it? I can't change it. So why can't I be proud of who I've become? In spite of the fact that I'm a narcissist. Why can't I be proud of who I am? Like, you can't stop that. You shouldn't be proud, Lee. You should try to get rid of that. You need to find God, and Jesus will cure you. Stop. I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of who I've become in spite of my personality disorder. You can't stop it. The progress, you can't stop it. I'm not going to let you stop it. You don't have the power to stop it. This is growth right here. Those are the two of the main things I've learned from therapy, y'all. And I'm going to keep learning. I'm going to keep being better. I just can't, I'm not healing. I'm not in recovery. I'm just in therapy, altering my behavior. That's all I say, y'all. I've never said, I'm healing. Hey, guys, I'm a narcissist in recovery. Nope. I said I have narcissistic personality disorder, and I'm in therapy for it. And I'm not ashamed of who I am. Because when I used to be part of those narcissistic, like I said, before therapy, I joined those narcissist groups. And every time somebody joined one of those narcissist groups, I'm not the only self-aware narcissist out there, y'all. I'm not the only self-aware narcissist out there. I'm just not. So I joined those groups, those self-aware narcissist groups on Facebook. Shout out to my groups. And those people were narcissists. And I'll be sitting in those groups quiet. I was the quiet one. I used to rarely post in those groups. And people would say, hey, Lee, can you post a little bit more? I'm like, I can try. And every time, one thing I noticed when everybody joined those groups, whenever a new person joined those groups with a fresh diagnosis, they would be in despair. It was disdain. It was giving up hope. Oh my God, I got diagnosed with narcissistic person. I got diagnosed with narcissist, and my life is over. What do I do? I can't do this. People would join the narcissist group and have private pages because they's like, if my boss finds out I'm a narcissist, they're gonna fire me. I'm like, what in the hell? Like, why do we gotta live like this? We have this disorder, but we don't have to let it be crippling to us. We don't have to let this be the end of us. This could be something we can catapult ourselves into, betterment, into better health, into strength and power and betterment. And I left those groups and I built this platform. That's what I've been doing. Anyways, y'all, I don't let this thing linger. Where are we at? 13 minutes? God, I talk too much. But it's empowering, y'all. I have another therapy appointment in a couple weeks. I will update y'all on my therapy progress then. I'm truly thankful. If you haven't already, go ahead and like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, the podcast as well. If you're listening to this on Apple Music, go ahead and hit me with that 5-star rating. I appreciate all of y'all. I see the reviews on there. I'm thankful for all of y'all. I really do appreciate all of y'all. Thankful y'all again. Like and subscribe. Mental Illness is out. Peace.